Title Inside Story. Son was shocked when he saw me. And I allowed him. It was one of those quiet mornings in Chicago when the air felt heavy with autumn's crisp promise. The leaves outside my window had just begun to turn golden, and the hum of the city in the distance was softened by the walls of our family home. My name is Linda, and I've always taken pride in keeping our household warm, welcoming, and grounded in love. I had raised my son, Daniel, with a strong sense of honesty and resilience. At 23, he was a man now, but in my heart, I could still see the boy who used to run through the yard chasing fireflies. Life had given us challenges, the early loss of his father, financial struggles, and days where everything seemed too heavy to bear. But together, we had survived. That morning, I was sitting in the living room, lost in thought, holding a worn photo album. Daniel came in unexpectedly, home earlier than usual from his night shift at the hospital. His eyes immediately caught sight of the tears I was quietly wiping away. He looked shocked, not because he had never seen me cry before, but because he had always believed I was too strong to show that kind of vulnerability. "Mom, are you okay?" he asked, his voice a mix of concern and hesitation. I closed the photo album gently, forcing a smile, though my chest ached with unspoken feelings. "I'm fine, sweetheart. Just remembering things." He sat down beside me, his hand brushing against mine. "You don't have to be fine all the time. You've always let me lean on you. Why won't you let me do the same for you?" His words pierced me. I realized I had spent so much of my life being his anchor that I'd forgotten it was okay to let myself drift for a moment and allow him to be mine. For the first time, I allowed him to see me not just as his mother, but as a woman, fragile, human, and sometimes lost. I told him about the photo album, filled with memories of his father. I confessed how heavy the years had felt at times, how loneliness would creep in, and how I struggled with the idea of him growing up and moving further into his own life. Daniel listened without interruption, his eyes locked on mine, showing a depth of care that made me realize how much he had matured. The shock on his face turned into understanding. He wasn't used to me opening up like this. But instead of pulling away, he stayed. He asked questions, not out of obligation, but out of genuine desire to understand my world. Over the following weeks, our relationship deepened in a way that was profound yet completely innocent. We cooked meals together, shared evening walks, and even started a small project of renovating the attic into a study space. It wasn't just about fixing up the house, it was about rebuilding layers of trust, transparency, and companionship that adulthood had taken away. One evening, while painting the attic walls, Daniel paused, looked at me, and said, "Mom, you've always been my hero. But I think I finally understand that being a hero doesn't mean being perfect. It means being real." Those words stayed with me. I allowed him to see my flaws, my tears, and my laughter, not just the strength I had always tried to project. And in turn, he allowed me to witness the man he had become, kind, compassionate, and wise beyond his years. What shocked him that morning in the living room wasn't just my tears. It was the realization that parents are human too, and that vulnerability is not weakness but courage. Life didn't magically become easier after that. Bills still had to be paid, and challenges still arose. But there was a renewed sense of partnership between us. Daniel wasn't just my son, he had become my confidant, my supporter, and my reminder that love doesn't stop evolving, it grows when we allow it to. Sometimes, the bravest thing we can do is allow someone we love to truly see us. And in that choice, we discover that being vulnerable is not a burden to others, but a bridge that makes relationships unbreakable.